The purpose of this video will be to further discuss the proof of theorem number 2 here and theorem number 8, which we have already introduced in the class. Okay, notice that theorem number 2 here is not written in an if-then statement, while theorem number 8 is already written in an if-then statement. Okay, so how do we deal with this type of theorem? Opposite angles of a parallelogram are congruent. Now, one way to do it is we can restate the theorem such that it will be in the form of an if-then statement. Okay, how do we do this? I can say if a quadrilateral is a parallelogram, then the opposite angles are congruent. Okay? So, for this theorem, opposite angles of a parallelogram are congruent. We can now restate it into an if-then statement. So, we now have uh, opposite angles of a parallelogram are congruent. Okay. Restatement here. Uh, if a, a quadrilateral is a parallelogram, okay, then its opposite angles are congruent. Okay, so we can actually draw a figure here. Okay, if we have here A, B, C, D. So here, when we deal with theorems, the if statement will be the given. Okay, we have a quadrilateral that's a parallelogram, and the then statement, this one here, will be what we are going to prove. Okay, now, so I can write here now what is the given. Okay, the given is what? Quadrilateral A, B, C, D is a parallelogram. Okay, and then what we are supposed to prove? We want to prove that angle A is congruent to angle C and angle B is congruent to angle D, or the opposite angles are congruent. Okay, now again, it is very important for us to introduce here this diagonal. Okay, this diagonal will separate this figure into two triangles, triangle 1 and triangle 2. We want to show, for triangle 1, triangle 2, we want to show that angle B is congruent to angle D. And the next step to that will be to show that angle A is congruent to angle C by introducing this other diagonal. The first thing here that we will do is to prove triangle 1 congruent to triangle 2. And we will start with these statements. Okay? And then the reason. Number 1, quadrilateral ABCD is a parallelogram. Okay? Now, if it is a parallelogram, what do we know about a parallelogram? We only know that a parallelogram is a quadrilateral with both pairs of opposite sides parallel. Okay? That's the only thing that we can use there. Okay, so here for us to have the triangles, we will have to introduce segment AC. Okay, segment AC. You're allowed to do that because of the line postulate. 2 points determine a line. Okay, so here, if we introduce this, since this is a parallelogram, then we know that, what do we know about the angles? Uh, this angle, okay, I love this. This angle here and this angle here actually are alternate interior angles. Okay, so angle 1 and angle 2 here are alternate interior angles. What else do we know? Here, angle 3 and angle 4 here are also alternate interior angles. Okay, this serves as your transversal, and these two are the parallel lines. So there we go. We can say that angle 1 is congruent to angle 2 since there are alternate interior angles of these two parallel lines here. And also, angle 3 is congruent to angle 4. The reason here is since we have a parallel lines here, then the alternate interior angles are congruent. So PAI. Okay? And we see that segment AC is congruent to segment AC. This is reflexive property. Okay, reflexive property. Now, from this information, I can now say that I can have two triangles that are congruent. Okay, I will start from A here, and here I will start from C. Okay, and then I'm going to this side, A, B. So I will have here A, B, and then this will be C, D. CD. And there's no other alternative except for the third angle to be a C here, and here the third angle is an A. So we have triangle ABC is congruent to triangle CDA by ASA. Okay? Angle, side, angle. Okay? Since this is congruent to this one, and this is congruent to that, we have angle side angle congruent. So that will be ASA postulate. Okay. From there, I can now conclude that triangle 1 and 2, triangles 1 and 2 are congruent. Therefore, angle B is congruent to angle D. This one here, angle B is congruent to angle D by CPCTC. Corresponding parts of congruent triangles are congruent. Now, you can proceed uh, proving also this one congruent to this. Okay, what do you notice here? We only used the property of a parallelogram. We were only able to use that. There are parallel here, so we were able to get alternate interior angles congruent. Now, if you want to prove the other two angles, then you have to introduce this. You have to introduce that. For the same triangle, A, B, C, D. Okay? You want to prove this one here, congruent to this. You have to show that triangle 1 and triangle 2 are congruent. Okay, again, this will now be the transversal, and this will be the two parallel lines. And if we have that, then this angle here and this angle will be congruent, and this angle here will be congruent to this angle. The same reason, since they are parallel, the alternate interior angles should be congruent. And you can write your reason like this one here, and you will conclude that, okay, triangle 1 is congruent to triangle 2 by ASA postulate also, and you can now say that uh, angle A is congruent to angle C, CPCTC. Okay, so I will not prove that anymore. You can continue that proof. Okay, what did we actually do here? Again, we only were able to prove using this implication of a parallelogram. That is, we have two parallel sides, okay? Opposite sides are parallel, so we can conclude this one here, and we can arrive at two triangles congruent, and the corresponding angles are congruent. Okay, now, let's see the other theorem that we want to prove. Number 8, if both pairs of opposite sides of a quadrilateral are congruent, then the quadrilateral is a parallelogram. So what is this? This is already an if-then statement. Okay, so you can say this is the given quadrilateral. It's not a parallelogram. That's what you want to prove. We want to prove that it is a parallelogram, which means we have to show that the sides are parallel. Okay, so what are we given here? Both pairs of opposite sides are congruent. Okay, the quadrilateral congruent. Okay, let's draw the figure. Okay, we have this quadrilateral here. Okay, given here is that, let's say this is A, this is B, this is C, and this is D. Given that for this quadrilateral, the opposite sides are congruent. Okay, opposite sides are congruent here. And we are supposed to prove that quadrilateral ABCD is a parallelogram. Okay, so uh, the given here is that quad, for quadrilateral ABCD, we are given that AB is congruent to DC and DC is congruent to AD. Okay? AB is congruent to DC, BC congruent to AD. We have a quadrilateral. And you're supposed to prove that quadrilateral ABCD is a parallelogram. Okay. To do that, um, we are supposed to show that this and this will be parallel, this one and this will be parallel. Okay, so let's have the statements. And then what do we want to, no, this will be the reasons. Okay, number one, uh, what do we have here? You're given that AB is congruent to DC. Okay, and also BC is congruent to AD. Okay, now that one is given. Okay, I can draw this diagonal here, or I can draw it a diagonal. I will draw this diagonal. So I am going to say again what? Introduce segment AC. This will still be again the line postulate. The line postulate we said was 2 points determine a line, although we only had segments here. Okay, the line containing the segment. Okay, now, uh, having introduced this, we know that this is congruent to this. So we want the correspondence A, B, C, A, B, C, and CDA to be a congruence. Okay, so AB corresponds to CD, same mark. And BC corresponds to DA, same mark. And then AC corresponds to itself. So actually, I can now say here that AC is congruent to itself, AC. This will be reflexive property of congruence. Now I can see that this is congruent to itself. I will now have this correspondence to be congruence. Triangle ABC is congruent to triangle CDA. By what reason? We have a pair of sides congruent, another pair of sides, and the third pair of sides, and I can have this as SSS postulate. Okay? Now, I can say uh, since they are congruent, then the corresponding parts will be uh, congruent. I will have this angle here corresponds to this, and I will have angle 3 corresponds to angle 4. Now, since 1 and 2 are corresponding angles, then we can say angle 1 is congruent to angle 2. This is following the two triangles congruent. And what is the implication of this? If angle 1 is congruent to angle 2, then these two sides must be parallel because this is alternate interior angles. Then this side cut here, BC, what? Should be, BC here should be parallel to AD. Okay, BC is parallel to AD. This will be alternate interior angles are congruent. Alternate interior angles are congruent here. Then the lines must be parallel. Similarly, I can say what? Angle 3 is congruent to angle 4. This is also CPCTC. And what will be, if this is congruent to this one here, then they are alternate interior angles also of these two lines. AB. I hope you're not confused there. So, angle 3 is congruent to angle 4. That's CPCTC. Therefore, segment AB here should be congruent, should be, um, ah, yeah. Segment, no, angle 1 is congruent to angle 2. No, this should be, BC should be parallel to AD. This should be parallel. I'm sorry about that. This this is parallel, okay? BC here is parallel to AD. And here, AB here is parallel to CD. This is the same reason, alternate interior angles, then they are parallel. Note that this number here and this number here showed that these pairs of opposite sides are parallel. Therefore, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Number 8, is it number 8? 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Number 9 here now will be what? Quadrilateral ABCD is a parallelogram. What's the reason? It will be definition of a parallelogram. What is the definition of a parallelogram? Two pairs of opposite sides are parallel. So we have proven that if two pairs of opposite sides are congruent, then the quadrilateral is a parallelogram. Okay, so how did we do the proof? We started by mentioning the given. Okay, and then we introduced this. And then we were able to see that we can have two triangles congruent, and therefore the corresponding sides are congruent. But incidentally, these corresponding sides congruent imply that this BC is parallel to AD. And the other corresponding angles congruent implies that side AB is parallel to CD. Then we were able to establish two parallel sides, two pairs of parallel sides congruent. Then, two pairs of parallel sides. Then we concluded that it is a parallelogram. Okay, so you can get through that.